Top stories for the hour. UK Deputy Prime Minister reaffirmed her country's commitment to supporting Ethiopia's prosperity path. And the minister's call for faster regional economic integration and implementation of AFCFTA. Greetings and welcome to ABC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism. I'm Hikma Tamam with the news for the hour. To stay with us. Jamal Bakr, ambassador of Ethiopia designated to the Republic of Tajikistan with residence in Islamabad, formally presented his credentials to Emomali Rahmon, President of the Republic of Tajikistan, on Wednesday. On the occasion, Ambassador Jamal Bakr conveyed the greetings of Taye Atske-Selassie, President of Ethiopia, as well as his good wishes for the President of the Republic of Tajikistan. The ambassador expressed commitment of his country to work closely with Tajikistan to enhance the bilateral, regional and multilateral cooperation to further strengthen the bilateral relations. He briefed the President about comprehensive reforms carried out by Ethiopia in economic, social and legal spheres that helped the country achieve impressive economic progress. On the other hand, Emomali Rahmon, President of the Republic of Tajikistan, conveyed his good wishes for the leaders and the people of Ethiopia and expressed his commitment to establish a strong bilateral, regional and multilateral cooperation with Ethiopia in the areas of business, trade, education, health, science and technology, aviation, energy, security and climate change. The ambassador of Ethiopia to the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Ambassador Shatit Alahun, presented his letters of credence to His Majesty King William Alexander, King of the Netherlands, in an elegant royal ceremony on Wednesday. The official ceremony took place at the Noordeinde Palace in The Hague and was followed by a private conversation with His Majesty, during which bilateral, regional and multilateral matters of common concern and interests were discussed. The ambassador presented to His Majesty the King priorities of his mandate and commitment to continue deepening the links that have huge potential for the two countries. On the highlight of his priorities of his tenure, the ambassador stated the need to expand business ties and sought the support of the royal family to encourage investment, trade and people-to-people relationship, that is tourism, including economic mission and visit to Ethiopia. Highlights on the celebration of centenary of the bilateral trade agreement in 2026 as opportunity to expand cooperation was also presented as per the Ethiopian Embassy in Brussels.
"70 countries across the world that are climate vulnerable, 40% of whom come from this great continent of Africa. Recognizing that it is only through unity that we can confront the existential crisis of our generation, that of the climate crisis. This is our moment to show the world that we were not simply apostrophes to the history and the modern history of humanity, but that truly we are the ones who can level the playing field and to create the opportunities that will allow the world to see people, hear people, and feel people, and to value the planet and its biodiversity at the very time when it is greatest in crisis. Let us remove the scars of history and be firm craftsmen of our fate, recognizing that the only people who can stop us now are we but ourselves. We have to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery and to build the future that our people want of us, and to give them that pride that is theirs. And we must do so in the spirit and with the results of ADWA.
Welcome back, and now moving on. UK Deputy Prime Minister Angela Ryanair reaffirmed the United Kingdom's commitment to supporting Ethiopia's prosperity path, particularly through humanitarian programs. She made the remarks while handing over ambulances to the Ethiopian Red Cross Society, underscoring the UK's long-term partnership with Ethiopia. Goshu Meliso presents more from Ethiopia News Agency.
At a ceremony held at the Ethiopian Red Cross Society Training Center, Deputy Prime Minister Ryanair praised the organization's life-saving efforts, reaffirming the UK's commitment as a closer partner to Ethiopia. She highlighted the UK's significant humanitarian programs in the country, including financial relief and support for vulnerable communities. As part of its humanitarian aid efforts, the United Kingdom has donated 12 ambulances to Ethiopian Red Cross Society, aiming to enhance emergency response services and improve access to life-saving medical care.
I've learned so much about the shared opportunities we have in business, security and our economic growth, but I've also learned more about Ethiopia's resilience in the face of immense and often overlapping humanitarian challenges. So for me, coming here today to see the extraordinary work of the Ethiopian Red Cross is definitely one of the highlights. Thanks to your dedication, countless lives have been transformed and countless more have been saved. During my trip, I have heard in particular from women and girls about their daily challenges, a cause which is close to my heart, and I understand that this is an acute crisis in need of funding.
Ryanair also reflected on her discussion with Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, stressing the importance of mutual cooperation in fostering prosperity, economic growth and security.
So I'm glad and proud that the UK's bilateral programme with Ethiopia is one of our largest humanitarian projects. And on Monday, I talked with the Prime Minister about our mutual interest in promoting a vision of prosperity for Ethiopia, while also making sure that the most vulnerable in the country receive the humanitarian support that they need. And the UK will be close partners with the Ethiopian government, offering our support while continuing our programme of financial relief for those most in need. And as part of this, I am delighted today to hand over 12 ambulances to strengthen the already brilliant work of the Ethiopian Red Cross.
On his part, Ethiopian Red Cross Society President Abarra Tola said the arrival of the new ambulance has a significant role in enhancing health services, particularly in maternal and child health care.
This collaboration has set a global standard and stands as a model for humanitarian collaboration and how a donor agency and a local humanitarian organization can work together to achieve sustainable impact. Through this partnership, we have reached more than 1.2 million people, not only provided emergency aid, but also strengthened our ability to respond to future disasters, providing critical relief and long-term support. Beyond immediate response efforts, this grant has helped ERICS realize a localization agenda.
The donation will help Ethiopian Red Cross Society realize its localization agenda, a crucial step towards sustainability by strengthening the regional and district branches of the society.
And now in business news, Zambia's Foreign Minister Mulabo Haimbe and Nigeria's Industry, Trade and Investment Minister Jomoke Oduole emphasized the critical need to expedite the implementation of regional economic communities and AFCFTA to unlock Africa's full economic potential. In an exclusive interview with the Ethiopian News Agency, the ministers have stressed the importance of strengthening ties between African nations through enhanced regional frameworks. Shagai Mata presents the following account.
Zambia's Foreign Minister Mulambo Hambe emphasized the importance of African countries working together on economic development instead of depending on external sources. The Foreign Minister highlighted the need for greater investments in infrastructure as a critical step toward facilitating trade and fostering regional economic cooperation. However, he raised concerns about the ongoing conflicts and instability in parts of Africa, underscoring that peace and security must be prioritized as instability in one region affects the entire continent's development.
We need to have, first of all, between the regional bodies within the continent, each of our regional economic communities should be able to have deliberate programs and deliberate frameworks for interaction in terms of not only political cooperation, but in terms of trade and investment as well. And very importantly also, we have many conflicts that are ongoing on the continent. So from a peace and security perspective, we have to put in more effort as countries on the continent, as African countries, to address those particular conflicts that we see.
On her part, Nigeria's Industry, Trade and Investment Minister underscored the importance of the African Continental Free Trade Area in driving Africa's economic growth. According to her, the AfCFTA presents a unique opportunity for Africans to break down the barriers that have limited the ability to trade with one another.
The AfCFTA is now 5 years. We started the pilot trading, and most countries have now started getting more organized. Nigeria is determined to operationalize and optimize AfCFTA. So we've been pushing on that agenda, particularly for exports in services, exports in trade. Goods have started moving across the continent. It's a unique agreement because it gives the opportunity for African youth to trade, for African women to trade. It also gives the opportunity for small and medium-sized enterprises to trade across the continent.
As African nations continue to pursue stronger economic ties through REX and the AfCFTA, the ministers agreed that cooperation at the regional level is the key to unlocking sustainable development and shared prosperity.
6 local and international investors, collectively contributing over $60 million, have officially launched construction and machinery installation at the Bole Lemi Special Economic Zone. These investors recently entered into service-level agreements with the Industrial Parks Development Corporation. Fasai Tagasu, CEO of IPDC, described the developments as a crucial advancement for industrial growth within the Special Economic Zone. He conducted an on-site visit to assess the progress of the construction efforts. According to the CEO, most of the investors are nearing completion of the construction and equipment installation phases, gearing up for the start of production. The investors who finalized agreements with the corporation during the current fiscal year and at the close of 2016 fiscal year are laying the groundwork to commence their operations. Once they become operational, these enterprises are projected to create over 2,000 permanent jobs for local residents, thereby enhancing economic development and employment opportunities in the region. And now, before we wrap up, a recap of the top stories once again. UK Deputy Prime Minister reaffirmed her country's commitment to supporting Ethiopia's prosperity path. And the ministers call for faster regional economic integration and implementation of AfCFTA. Well, that's it for now. Thank you for watching.